Hey, what's up guys? It's Shaun from the Shaun Experiment right here, back with more travel tips. I don't need that thing. This week, we're covering the topic of traveling with credit cards and what to do to be smart before, during, and after your trip. So, first thing first is, do you have credit cards? Credit is the lifeblood of everything. I work in the financial industry, and without credit, you are going to struggle through life. So first of all, if you do not have credit or you have bad credit, let's start to work on that. Your travel experiences will be so much better, but also your quality of life will be better, but that's a whole nother video. So if you have good credit or great credit or amazing credit, how many credit cards do you have? So traveling with credit cards is a very strategic thing that you can do, not only to save money, but also to be safe. So let's get into a few tips and tricks. For one, you're going to need multiple credit cards when you travel. One of my favorite travel cards is my American Express. Okay? My American Express has no annual fee, no foreign transaction fees, which we're going to get into pretty soon, but it also has some other perks and benefits. However, not everywhere in the world accepts American Express, so you want to have a backup. So your backups and your most widely used cards are going to be a Visa, maybe a MasterCard, depending on where you're going. So make sure that you're bringing a Visa card with you. Make sure that you're bringing one that has great rewards, because rewards are a great part of travel, and make sure that you also have no foreign transaction fees. Again, that's really, really important. Of course, you want to bring your debit card just in case, but I wouldn't bring it out with me everywhere I go, and we're going to bring a little bit of cash as well. Let's go through some tips and tricks to teach you how to travel the best in a foreign country using your credit card. So I mentioned getting a card that does not have any foreign transaction fees. So why do that? Or what is a foreign transaction fee? Well, anytime that you use a US-based credit card to make a foreign transaction, and that could be online through a foreign company, or while you are actually traveling and in that country and you're swiping your credit card to make a purchase, there is something called a foreign transaction fee. Most banks charge a 3% fee on their credit cards. So you gotta imagine if you spent $1,000 on your trip, that's 30 bucks. Some of you are only spending a few hundred, some are maybe spending a few thousand or more. So that $30 per thousand can really add up. So no foreign transaction fees. Make sure your card has it. So again, one of the cards I have, the American Express Propel card, gives you 3 times the points on travel and restaurants and so many other things. And also it has no annual fee and it has no foreign transaction fee. So it's a great card to have for purchasing travel and a great card to have while you travel. Like I said, you want to have more than one card. So I base my cards and my rewards on what I'm purchasing. So again, my American Express card might have 3 times on restaurants, and it might have 3 times on bars and 3 times on travel, but it does not have 3 times on groceries. So what do I do if I'm on a trip and I want to go grocery shopping? Let's say I want to stock the hotel up with snacks and goodies and lunch meats and different things like that. Like I'm not eating out every single meal 15 times a day when I travel, but let's say I want to buy some things at a grocery store, maybe an electronics store. I find a really good deal on a camera or find something really cool for a souvenir. I'm only getting 1% on those purchases. So from a reward standpoint, I'm going to use my Visa card. My Visa card is going to give me 1.5% unlimited cash back. So no matter if I'm spending $10 or $10,000, I'm going to get 1.5% cash back. So always utilize your rewards, especially when you travel, because you're going to save some money and you're going to make some money. Before you leave for the country, you want to make sure you tell your bank where you're going. No, they're not trying to spy on you. No, this isn't a conspiracy theory. They want to make sure nobody stole your card and is spending it in Japan or spending it in Germany or spending it in Mexico. So before you travel, you want to set up travel plans. Now, most banks are going to have the travel plans right through the website. So you go to the app, you go through the website, and you say, manage my travel plans. It's going to ask you when you're leaving, when you're coming back, and which states or countries you are visiting in between those times that you're gone. So I might say, from July 19th, I'm going to be in Germany, and I'm going to leave and be in Australia from July 22nd through the 25th. And then I'm going to be leaving to go to New York for the next 3 days, etc. And it's going to know that if my card gets swiped in Australia on the day that I'm said I'm going to be there, it's not somebody that stole my information. It's me in Australia spending money. Okay? Down under. So long story short, set up your travel plans. If you've ever been into a place, grocery shopping or doing any kind of purchasing, and all of a sudden your card gets cut off completely and you're super embarrassed and what am I going to do? One more trick is, one, set your travel plans, and that's not going to happen to you. But number two, even if it does, look on the back of your credit card. So on the back of your credit card, there's going to be a 1-800 number. That 1-800 number will listen to your phone call. Most banks are 24 hours a day, and you can just verify some information, answer some questions, tell them where you're at, and they will unfreeze your card in the moment. It usually takes up to 90 seconds, but it's very, very fast. So do not get frustrated and try and call your local bank. Call the 1-800 number on the back of your card, and they can usually fix it for you just a couple minutes or less to make sure you can get your purchase and be on your way. How are you booking your trip? So here's the thing. The old myths about credit of don't have too many credit cards and you shouldn't have credit cards because they're bad for you are old school way of thinking. Credit is amazing. Credit is what makes the world go round. I'm telling you right now, great credit is better than having money. Having cash only gets you so far. Having great credit can get you into so many other opportunities in life. It's fantastic. Be smart when you use your credit. Here's a little tip for you. When you're about to go on a big trip, let's say one that's going to cost a lot of money, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 or more, there are so many credit cards out there in the world that if you get them, they will give you a bonus for spending X amount of dollars in the first X amount of days of having the card. For instance, I just applied and was approved for the new Chase Sapphire card. And the rewards on this card are bananas, at least in the beginning. So it's not going to be my everyday credit card. It doesn't give me 1.5, 2, 3% on my purchases or more. But what it does is it has a fantastic opening bonus. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you spend $4,000 in the first 90 days of owning the card, you get a 60,000 point bonus. Now 60,000 points equals to $600 in cash. Yes, there is a $95 annual fee, and yes, they charge it to you on your first bill. And people go, I'm not paying a $95 annual fee. Why would I do that? Well, you're doing it to get the $600 in rewards for a profit of $505. Let's say you book a $4,000 trip and you've been saving for this trip. So you have the cash in your savings account because you've been saving for 2 years to take this amazing trip that you've been wanting to take. Now, why would I spend $4,000 on my debit card or in cash or write a check when I could earn some free money? So I already have the $4,000 to pay off my vacation. But what I'm going to do first is apply for a card, for instance, the Chase card, the Chase Sapphire card. And I am going to wait until I have the entire $4,000 saved up. I am going to book my trip entirely on my credit card. I am going to spend $4,000 in the first 90 days, and I'm going to get a 60,000 point bonus. So after I pay my $95 fee, I make a profit of $505. So when I pay off my vacation, instead of paying $4,000 that I put in my savings account, I'm going to pay $3,495. And with that extra $505, I can save it for my next trip, or I can splurge on a really cool excursion or one ticket to a game that I always wanted to go to. Upgrade yourself to first class. You deserve it. Also, I spent $4,000 on my credit card, and I'm going to get at least a 1% rewards, because if you're getting a credit card that doesn't have rewards, you're in the wrong credit card. In this scenario, I've used the Chase card, so I'm getting 1%. That is $40 on top of the $505 I've already made. So now I have made $545, booked my trip, and then I cancel the card once I come back. Another option you're going to have whenever paying with your credit card in a foreign country is going to be, do you want to pay in US dollars Or do you want to pay in the local currency? You always want to pay in the local currency. One, the conversion rates are a little bit different. So if you walk into a foreign store and you say, hey, I'd love to buy that shirt. And in the foreign currency, it's, let's say, the equivalent of 15 US dollars, but you tell them you're going to pay in US dollars, one, they will give you a tourist tax. Yes, they say it doesn't happen, but yes, it happens everywhere. They'll say, oh, that shirt's $20 or $25 because they think everybody who's traveling is rich. So pay in the local currency. That way also you can match it up. So if the sign says that it's going to be 17 euro or 39 pesos or whatever it might be, then when you see the receipt on the credit card machine, it should be 39 pesos. So you make sure you're paying the right dollar amount. Sometimes doing that math in our head from pesos to US dollars or from pounds or francs or wherever you're going to US dollars can be confusing. So keep it simple. Pay in the local currency, make sure you're getting the right deal, the best deal, and also you'll save fees on your credit card from your bank as well. Another tip, I think everybody uses a PIN number for their debit card, but not necessarily a PIN number for their credit card. So some people don't even know there are PIN numbers. So yes, you can request a PIN number through your credit card. Call your credit card company again, that 1-800 number that's on the back of the card. They will set you up a PIN number. They'll send you one in the mail, and sometimes they'll allow you to reset it. But you get a PIN number when you're traveling in foreign countries. Some other foreign countries do the signature card. Some require a PIN. So if you've ever traveled and you've swiped your credit card and it asked you for a PIN, and then you go, I don't have a PIN number, this is a credit card, that's why. So call and set up a PIN number for your credit card, and you'll help avoid those situations where they don't take the signature cards. It's pretty rare, but it does happen. We're maybe bringing 2 to 3 credit cards, a debit card. Make sure you don't necessarily bring all of them with you at all times, because I always leave one in the safe in the hotel to make sure if all else is stolen, all else is missing, all else is lost, I have at least one card and one ID at the hotel in the safe so I can make purchases and I can make sure I'm safe and get fed and travel back to home and do all those things. But I do suggest bringing some cash on you. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of places that do not accept cash. And to be honest with you, in my experience in traveling, some of the absolute best places in the world don't take cash. They're your little mom and pop corner shops. They're the street food vendor that's making that delicious hot sandwich that you keep smelling every time you walk by, but they only take cash. And a little known fact as well, when you're traveling around Europe and other parts of the world, you have to use your own money to use the public restrooms. Yes, sometimes there is a person standing there and they're collecting money. Sometimes it's like a vending machine. You have to put the money in. Sometimes it's a variety of things. But in a lot of situations, you have to have exact change. So even at like the train station, at stores, things like that, where you're used to just being having a public restroom here in the States. There they have public restrooms, but you have to pay for them. So it may be 80 cents or 80 cents in euros or pounds. It may be $1, it may be $2. But if you don't have any cash, you can't use the bathroom in a lot of places. So make sure you're carrying at least a little bit of cash with you at all times. Most places will take cards, but I would suggest having $20 to $30 of local currency on you at all times, if not more, to make sure that you can buy that sandwich that smells so good, buy the beer from the street vendor that you walked by and it looks so cold and delicious, get yourself into a public restroom or any other buying that you may need to do. Okay? But do not use your credit card to get out cash. So we talked about getting a PIN number for your credit card, which is a great idea, but do not go to the ATM and use your PIN number to get cash out because you're going to pay cash advance fees. There are 2 different ways you're going to be charged this. You're going to be charged an upfront fee from your bank. You're also going to be charged a higher interest rate for the balance, and that interest starts to accrue right away. So on a normal purchase, if you spend $50 on your credit card, you have until your bill due date before you start paying interest. On a cash advance, you start paying interest from the moment you take it out. And it's usually very, very high. 25, 26, 27% or higher. And when you're talking about larger amounts of money, hundreds or even thousands of dollars, that's going to add up very, very quick. So make your purchases with your card, but bring your debit card with you to take out money. Yes, you might pay a $2.95, $3.95, $5.95 fee at an ATM, but You will not pay cash advance fees to get out your own money, and usually you won't be getting out a whole lot of cash anyway, so use your credit cards for your big purchases and use your cash for your small purchases. Last but not least, make sure that you are safe and you email your credit card information to yourself securely, okay? You can put a password, you can send secure an email with a password lock on it so nobody else can get it. And what you want to do is you want to send yourself your credit card number, your CVV code, which is the little numbers on the back, or if it's an American Express, it's the little numbers on the front of the card. Usually they're 4 digits. You want to make sure you send your card number, your CVV code, and your expiration date. The reason why we're doing this, why would I do that? Oh my God, it's in an email. For one, password secure it and make sure it's very safe. For two, you also want to make sure that if you lose your wallet, if you are robbed, and yes, it does happen every now and again, it's not a crazy problem, but people do get mugged and people do get their wallets and their bags stolen in foreign countries. So if you get your bag stolen or you drop it off a bridge or you lose it and you leave it on a bus somewhere, one, you want to make sure you turn your cards off using your app. Be safe because somebody will find it and they will spend your money. But two, you also want to make sure that you can make purchases. So on a lot of the applications, you can go in and freeze your card and do different things. So you may go in immediately and freeze your card. And then freezing your card allows nobody to spend money. However, you go, those were my only cards. How am I going to get back home? How am I going to pay for the next hotel? So what you can do is you can go in, unfreeze that card, make an online purchase. Unlike your app, most bank apps will not have your full credit card number on it. They will only have the last 4 digits. So you want to make sure that you go into your email, you check your credit card number, your CVV code, and your expiration date, and you can buy the return trip home. You can change, buy a train ticket, buy a plane ticket, buy a new hotel in case you're moving around the country, and then you can refreeze your card so nobody else can use it. That'll buy you some time to get home because your bank will not send a replacement card internationally in most cases. All right, and that is today's tips and tricks. Please like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel to make sure you get every single Sunday's new travel tips and all my other travel videos in between the time. I appreciate you guys watching the video and supporting me like you always do. Shaun from the Shaun Experiment here. Travel till you die. Peace.